right, this is John Cola with growingyourgreens.com. Today we have another exciting episode for him here on Pine Island in Florida. And one of the cool things when I'm driving to Pine Island, as you're crossing one of the bridges, it says, you are now on island time. And it, you know, things seem just to be a little bit slower here on Pine Island than in other parts of Florida. And Pine Island is a very unique place in Southwest Florida that literally is right off the Gulf. And because they're literally pretty close to the ocean, it doesn't get too cold here like other parts of Florida. They can grow many tropical fruits. The place I'm at today is Gatherings, Mango Grove, and Honeybees. This is a community of the 12 tribes, which I got to learn about today. So 12 tribes has many different, basically, communities all over the world, right? I think over 30 different communities, and they'll trade amongst each other. So like the ones up in New York will send basically the organic spelt grain down, and then they'll ship the mangoes from here to some of the other communities, and they will trade. They have communities in like Brazil that make the yerba mate that then they'll ship up, and they make body care goods. And basically the whole reason, a big part of the community is to keep their community members employed and working together in communities so they don't have to go off site. So, you know, that's what this farm is about. It's not about making money. It's about basically bringing in communities so that they can live together and provide work for community members, right? So that's a very important distinction I want to give, because most mango farms are not there for love and community. They are out there for profit. So that's a very important thing. That's why this community actually every year in June, they have a free mango festival. So mark your calendars now for the free mango festival. Not only are the attendees allowed to attend for free, and I think they had like 2,000 people at their one in 2025, but also even vendors and local other farms are invited to come for free without a charge, right? So this makes even a bigger, larger gathering for their mango festival, where you actually could taste mangoes and actually buy mangoes at what I would consider affordable prices, especially after being at other mango festivals on the other side of the state where they're charging a lot of money. So, you know, to me, I've only received nothing but love here today, and just really pleasant experience at the gatherings. And that's what I want to try to share a little bit of what they're doing here with you about this amazing farm here on Pine Island that has like around 1,000 mango trees in the orchard right behind me. They are on about 8 to 9 acres. So I want to show you guys some of the ways they're growing the mango trees, also processing the mango trees, able to ship you a little slice, literally, of Florida, as well as helping the local community eat more organically, naturally grown food. They are not currently organic certified, but they are going through the process now. But all the processes that I've seen here and they've explained to me are totally organic, and actually these are the ways that I grow myself. So let's go ahead and take you guys around the orchard and show you guys more about Gatherings Grove. All right, guys, so we are currently here in January. I don't know when this video will be released, but basically it's not mango season. Mango season is in like June, around June, maybe a little bit earlier in May, June, July, August. Some varieties are earlier, some are later. And you can see basically they have all kinds of trees at different ages, and that's really cool that they have trees at different ages. So they have new modern trees that they're planting. Their goal is to keep all their trees really short and small and grow them wide out so that they could produce a lot of fruit lower without having to, you know, use pickers or get big ladders to harvest the trees when they're really tall. The cool thing about this farm is that they have some, like I would call it, old growth mangoes. Some of these mangoes were planted here in the 1930s and 40s. Like that's like almost 100 years ago now. And you could see like the one right behind me is actually called Bailey's Marvel, after the Bailey brothers who had this property. They basically planted a seedling, and then that's the Bailey's Marvel. Many of you guys may have tasted. This is where it originally originated. And I'm confident that they have a few other unique varieties of mangoes you're not going to taste other places on this property that are basically seedling trees that have been kept. I know there's like a unique green mango that you could eat green that's probably not found other places, like from the same time period, planted in the 30s and the 40s. And that to me is really amazing. And like, this has gone through many hurricanes. The last hurricane actually got it tipped over. Then they actually had to cut it back a lot and then tip it back up and replant it. And then they basically cut all the trees to be real short so that they'd be more resilient to hurricanes because they wouldn't have all the top growth up there. And you can see the trees this year have come back and now they're flowering with a vengeance. So, you know, it is expected that's going to be definitely a good year for the mangoes. And yeah, over about 1,000 trees, 60 to 70 different varieties of mangoes here on the farm. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the varieties that are actually planted and named. All right, guys, so now I want to show you guys some of the orchard here at Gatherings Grove. A lot of these trees were basically planted in the 70s and 80s or maybe the 90s. And of course, I think the front grove was planted as early as the 30s or 40s. And then of course, they're always planting new trees as some trees gets damaged from the hurricane or whatnot and replace it with new and current cultivars. So what I wanted to do, they have them labeled really well down the rows so we know what kind they are. I'm gonna show you guys some of the varieties of the mangoes they have here down the rows. This orchard is kept really nice. They even have goats that will do some of the weeding or some of the cutting back of the grass. Some points, of course, some other times they actually do end up mowing it. But we'll start at this row is the Tom Kai Can Carry. We go down here. They got the Golden Wise Nugget. Next, we got the Mun Ki Si Tom Pai Can. They got the Mun Ku Si. They got the Falan. As I'm jogging, they got the Keo Savoy, a nice green mango you can eat crunchy. Glen Valencia's Pride. They got the Keo Savoy Mix. They got the Mun Ki Su Tom Dom. The Ryan Palmer Dot. The Terry and the Beverly. They got the Kents. I'm getting a nice workout here. They got the Keats, a nice late mango that you eat green. They got the Keo Savoys. They got the Chakanons. They got the Falons. They got the Orun Tom Pai Kai Thai Mix. Different mangoes in there. Pum Sing Mun. Keo Savoy and Ping Sing Mun. They got the Tom Don Keo Savoys in that row. The Brahm Kai Mu. The Nam Dok Mai, one of my favorite mangoes. Don't miss that one. More Nam Dok Mais. 3 Nam Dok Mais, guys. You should grow that one. Another Nam Dok Mai. And at the end, besides just the mangoes, they have other fruit trees. Lots of soursops, good for anti-cancer, as well as other things. Now I want to show you guys actually how they feed all these mangoes so that they can be lush, vibrant, and produce lots of fruit every year for you. All right, guys, so basically to grow the mangoes here, they use only organic methods to control some of the pests and disease like sooty mold and whatnot. They'll spray things like neem oil, things like copper. These are all very basically horticultural oil. So these are all organic certified. So there are ways you can grow mangoes successfully. All the trees look amazing. The other part of their program is that actually they do fertigation. So they basically drip out the water to the trees so the trees can get water as needed. And basically their community, different community in a different part of the country basically makes the fish emulsion and then sends the fish emulsion to the different communities. So I like that really they have the community here in Florida, but then other communities will they'll trade amongst each other, which is really cool. So it's like tribal trading. So basically this is fish emulsion that their other community, maybe like up in Alaska or whatever, made and then sent down to them so that then now they could fertilize their trees as well as their vegetable garden that we'll see in a minute. And they basically send it all through the fertigation unit that basically will dispense out some of the fish emulsion into the water as it goes through the whole irrigation system that runs out to the orchard. So this makes basically giving nutrients to your trees very easy and simple. And it's very important for me that I share this with you guys because, if you think about it, a lot of mango farms may not do a lot to their trees, right? But think about this. When an orchard basically pulls fruit off the tree and then they ship it off-site, what are they doing? They are they are removing resources and nutrients because the tree has to pull up nutrients from the ground, put in the mango. The mangoes are then shipped off site. Those nutrients go into us. They taste amazing. And then we seem to always be taking right from the earth. When we extract oil from the earth, we're taking out of the earth, but are we putting oil back in? No, we are polluting the earth. But you know, here at the farm and the community, right, they want to give back. And so they're basically giving back to the earth to give nutrients back to the earth. So now the mangoes that come up, the trees could be healthier and the mangoes could be even more fruitful, healthier, and disease resistant because they actually are putting good nutrients such as the fish emulsion back into the earth, as well as into their vegetable garden. So I think actually next to this little shed here, I want to show you guys a tree that's actually producing fruit right now. All right, guys, so the tree that's in production right now in January, which is funny for me because normally I see this tree producing in the fall time and we are here in the winter in South Florida. This tree is loaded with fruit here. You guys can see when they're ripe, they get a bit more yellowish. And this is a jujube fruit. Look at these honkers on this guy. These guys are super healthy. Jujubes are like in the apple family. They're originally from China. They're like they use this Chinese herbal medicine. And we just bite into them. This is one of the biggest jujubes that I've ever seen. And inside, they kind of crunch and taste like an apple, really. I mean, this is in the apple family. I personally love these dried. But yeah, these are delicious. And look how productive this tree is, guys. This tree is doing so well, it's so heavy because all the fruit are weighing down these branches. They're just literally hitting the ground. That's how fruitful it is here at Gatherings Grove. All right, guys, so I'm standing here at the Gatherings Grove farm stand that they have here on Pine Island. At present time, it's closed. They hope to open it, you know, more during the week at some point, but basically right now, this stand is open on Sunday nights and they invite the community to come for free pizza night. I think this is an amazing way to bring the community together. At the same time they're selling the pizza, they also will sell things like body care products, the fresh mangoes when they're in season. They also have mango smoothies. They also have some of their freeze-dried fruit and other products that are high quality from some of the other tribes that get it shipped in, like the olive oil potentially and other things. But yeah, this is a great way that they can get people in to learn about the farm, to feed them some pizza, and you can learn about the 12 tribes community directly, right? You may have heard things online, and I never heard about this, you know, community until I came here today. And, you know, I would always encourage you guys in life to get to know people, to get to meet them and experience them, right? And to not have prejudices, whether you don't like black cats because, you know, you think they're bad luck. Get to know a black cat. They are loving little creatures. Just because they're black, you shouldn't think they're all bad luck, right? So I'm really against like prejudice in the world. And, you know, this is how the community here will invite you in every Sunday night, you know, for free pizza. And they have a wood-fired oven over there. And so, yeah, I would invite you guys to come out to the free pizza nights that they have to get to know the community more. And once again, I'll post their website link down below where you guys could learn about their mango festival, as well as the free pizza nights and their farm stand when it is open. All right, guys, you guys can see I'm standing right next to a papaya tree that I'm up on a ladder because these guys are tall and high. They actually have people that will come and drive to buy these very papayas. Unfortunately, I didn't get to sample any today, but I'm confident that because they enrich the soil with the fish emulsion and have organic growing practices, do mulch down below, feed all the trees, other compost as well, that these papayas would taste amazing. And they have lots of papaya trees right here in this particular area, which actually happens to be the vegetable garden. So that's what I want to share with you guys next, the amazing vegetable garden they are growing here on Pine Island. I mean, they have the standard common crops that you and I would love, such as carrots and special varieties of carrots, you know, literally that are seed produced by the farmer, because the farmer that I met today has been growing in Vermont for decades, like literally. They have onions and peppers. They have things like bok choy. They got radishes, and he's doing a breeding program here with the radishes, right? The farmer really dislikes hybridized seeds because they are controlled by large companies. And I would agree with him totally on that. And so basically he's taken like a purple radish hybridized seed and he's grown those out. And then he saved the seeds from the hybridized radish so that now he can unhybridize them and then create an open pollinated seed. So that's the process he's doing here. He basically will harvest out all the white ones and the community will eat them and enjoy them. And then he's gonna basically pull up the purple ones because they are biennials and then take them back to Vermont and then plant them and let them go to seed so that he could collect the seeds. A lot of these plant starts that you see actually were grown in Vermont and then brought down by the farmer, you know, once it got too cold in Vermont, and then he planted them in the garden here in Florida, which I think is really cool because I've been known to transfer plants between different states as well. Oh, and then this is really fun, guys. So this is Broccolini. I really want to show you guys this. You know, you probably never learned this, and actually I learned this from the farmer. I've kind of known it, but he really, you know, pointed it out. He's really, you know, a stickler for harvesting things properly. With the Broccolini, it's basically called a sprouting broccoli because it basically will throw up a lot of shoots, so you could eat basically for 5 to 6 months of Broccolini if the plant has the right genetics. If you harvest them properly, this will not happen to nice large heads of broccoli, but this once again is sprouting broccoli if you harvest it properly. So I want to show you guys this plant here that was harvested improperly, right? They cut this plant too low so that there are no good growth points to keep this plant going. So I want to show you guys how to harvest the Broccolini. So take this plant for example, right? On this plant, if you harvested it down here, you'd be sacrificing Broccolini in the future. Because right now, if you harvest down here, this one will continue to grow, and then this one will continue to grow, but then no more will continue to grow. Because what you're looking for is like at tomatoes, when you pull off the suckers, you want the suckers on the Broccolini to grow out. So right here's a sucker, right here's a sucker, right here's a sucker. These suckers will end up turning into the nice bunches of broccoli in just a few months. So when you harvest this, instead of harvesting here and cutting off this sucker, this sucker, this sucker, you would lose these 1, 2, 3 stalks, 4 stalks. You would actually harvest it here, and then you'd have this top to eat, and then this one would grow out bigger, this one would grow out bigger, this one would grow out bigger, that one would grow out bigger, this one's still growing bigger, this one's growing bigger. So you always want to let the plant have as many offshoots as possible and don't harvest it too low. So I want you guys to have some, you know, awareness about this when you harvest your broccoli or even cauliflower, because you can let the plant even grow longer if you don't basically cut it too low and you have a lot of the basically suckers left to grow out. So yeah, so he's doing breeding experiments here to curate a nice broccolini with the nice white flowers that produces really nice broccoli for 5 to 6 months, which is, you know, amazing because most people don't think you could harvest broccoli that long. Of course, they have standard things like the peppers here. They have the Swiss chard, more peppers, other kinds of plants. Oh, they have the eggplants that are growing really well. They got radishes there, more of the radishes here. They got the cabbages. Here's a really nice cabbage here. They got some kales over here. They got the spinaches here. All right, guys, so I really want to highlight this. So while he is growing the broccolini, he's also growing the broccoli that has a nice large head. Once again, the farmer doesn't like to use hybridized seeds, and it has been very challenging for him to find open pollinated broccoli that produces actually a nice large head. So this is an heirloom variety from Germany that makes a nice large head. I don't remember the name, starts with an R, but I'll post it in the description notes below in the timestamp list so that you can learn about this nice broccoli if you want to grow just one nice head of broccoli on an open pollinated heirloom plant from Germany. All right, guys, so over here is what I just showed you. It's the sunny side of the garden. And then over on this side, of course, they have perennial edible green trees that grow year round that produce leaves you could eat. They're anti-cancer, so delicious. This is known as the moringa. You can also eat the moringa flowers, as well as harvest the drumsticks or the pods. They have a few up there when they're young and tender. But I wanted to show you guys this side of the garden, you know, because if we look besides on this side of the garden, if we look above us, you can see these nice large trees, right? During the hurricane, all the trees defoliated the leaves. So there's a lot more sun on this area. But now because the trees grew back, Now they have a lot of shade on this area, which is actually a good thing. Normally, you know, garden packs say full sun, you don't want shade, but the challenge is some crops, if they get too much sun, they won't perform well. So for example, we are here in South Florida in January and we're like in the 70s, right? And if it got too much hotter, this lettuce is not gonna perform well because it'd be too hot, the sun will be too much for it. Same thing with like some of the mild Asian greens like the bok choys and the tat soys, right? Especially this guy here, the red choys are known to bolt very quickly. So that's why he basically intentionally plants the lettuce behind these trees and the sun's on that side. So this part of the garden gets less sunlight. And this is a good thing so that now he can grow a wider variety of crops because now he's basically using nature's microclimate to expand his growing capacity and what he can grow. So it's really cool what they're doing in this garden, growing all organic vegetables that they make available to the local community on the farm stand days, or even if you want to buy them other times, contact the community and they can hook you up. All right, so here, literally in the middle of a mango orchard, right? What better place to have a mango festival, right? This was a row, and some of the trees in this row were basically taken out by hurricanes, and they had a big space in the row, so they basically put in a events building where they actually have the mango festival as well as have other events and community space for around the year. So actually just yesterday they ended an herb festival that they had here where inside the room there they basically have classes, right? And will teach people. So at the mango festival they'll be teaching classes inside that event space. And one of the things I love about this community is that they really look forward to reusing otherwise discarded materials. So for example, I showed you guys the garden, the raised bed garden. I didn't mention that the raised bed garden wood is not wood, it's actually plastic that's been off-gassed for 20 years by one of the local cities that was taking out their boardwalk that went in, into the Gulf. Like it was a boardwalk made out of the plastic lumber that then they rescued and now are using for raised beds. In addition, all these pavers that you see behind me, these are all rescued pavers that another city was getting rid of because they were changing up, or no, it was an apartment complex getting rid of, and now they got the pavers here and put them in as the ground for their event space. So you know, I'm all about recycling and reusing instead of disposing and getting rid of things. You know, I'm gonna hopefully put on my schedule to be at the Mango Festival in Southwest Florida, where they have, you know, literally 1,000 trees in this orchard and a lot of the varieties that I love a lot, because I usually go to the other side for mango festivals, because I've been to, you know, different mango festivals on the other side, Southeast Florida, but I want to check out the mangoes in Southwest Florida, especially at a free mango festival that you guys could all come to for free without any money, and taste mangoes, buy mangoes at affordable prices, as well as meet all the different vendors, buy mango trees, and learn all about mango culture here on beautiful Pine Island. So I hope to be at the Mango Festival this year, coming up June 21st here on Pine Island, Florida. This is gonna be an amazing event. I mean, once again, it's free. You just gotta get your butt down here to this Mango Festival where they're gonna be giving classes in here. The mangoes are gonna be free flowing. You could taste mangoes, buy mangoes, sample mangoes, meet other mango growers from the area and other booths and exhibitors. It's gonna be an amazing time. So I'm gonna mark my calendar and hopefully I can make it down for this year's Mango Festival here in Southwest Florida on Pine Island, all for free. And I think this is amazing, literally gift of love and to get community together. I mean, there's no other reason why they would do a free mango festival other than to bring people in so that they could learn about the amazing work they're doing here with the mangoes and building the communities. So as much as I love mango season, right, there's a way that Gatherings Grove makes the mangoes available for you so you can eat them off season. So let's go over to their processing house where they have a commercial kitchen and process the mangoes and can ship them to you 365 days a year. All right, guys, so what sets Gatherings Grove apart from many of the different mango farms that I have visited in the past? You know, a lot of the mango farms I've visited in the past, they basically just sell you guys the whole fruit. And that can be a problem because they can only say the whole fruit when it's in season, when they're ripe and ready to ship. And now while Gathering Grove will ship you fresh fruit, they've shipped fruit to Washington, they ship fruit to New York, they ship fruit all over the country every day of the mango season. You know, the challenge is most farms don't have a certified commercial processing facility to process the mango so that you guys could get it at a later date. And that's what sets Gathering Grove apart, right? Once again, this farm is not focused on profit. It's focused on community and keeping the community together on site, working together. So like kids are homeschooled. I met some of the kids that are homeschooled here earlier today, right? They also don't want generally people to go off site to work at a regular job. They want them to come here and provide them opportunities and work environments, including on the job working for some of the kids, right? And experience on how to work in the real world. And so then you can come to this food processing facility, and then you can learn how to process the mangoes. The cool thing about this community is that they accept people to come in. So if you are looking for a community because you're lonely, you know, you could come here and, you know, come for a day or come for longer, right? To work with them, learn what they're about, literally work in mango fields, work in the organic garden, work processing the food if it's that time of year, which is amazing. So let's go in next into the processing house and show you guys some of the amazing equipment they have so that they could ship you the mangoes and make the other products they do. All right, guys, so now I'm here in the processing facility. They have commercial refrigeration behind me, refrigerators as well as freezers, right? So they basically will make frozen mango pulp that actually we had a little bit earlier today in a smoothie. Absolutely delicious. I definitely recommend if you come to the pizza night, you could have the same exact smoothie we had, which was amazing. And then you can see here, they basically have a commercial kitchen with a wash station, rinse, sanitize. You can see everything is laid out and very orderly, right? I used to work in commercial kitchens. Most commercial kitchens are not this clean and tidy. This place is spotless. When we go to the other side, this is where they have industrial equipment to process the mangoes. This is their specialized commercial mango pulping machine. This will basically turn any fruit so that no food goes to waste into a pulp that then they basically will freeze into smoothie packets. They could also take these same smoothies and then put it in their freeze dryer to make some of the food that they could ship you that I'll show you guys in a little bit. Next up, they've invested in this special filler machine. This filler machine will basically take the pulp and then fill it into bags so that then they can store their frozen mango pulp that can be used in smoothies as well as for freeze drying. So I really love that they are able to process the mangoes so that there's no food waste, right? And then they have food for their community to eat as well as to share with other communities as well as to share with to sell to the community at large and to even ship to you guys some of the food. So next up, I'm gonna show you guys the food that they can ship to you wherever you are in the country so that you could experience the amazing flavors of mangoes and other locally grown fruits from Florida. All right, guys, so the food that they can ship to you is amazing. It's all freeze dried, and I'm a big proponent of freeze drying. Freeze drying is the best way to preserve your food for up to 25 years. Why is freeze drying superior than dehydration? Number one, it does it in an oxygen deprived environment under vacuum where literally the water is sublimated out of the food, also at low temperature, right? Under vacuum at low temperature while frozen. So this basically keeps all the flavors in the food and gives it the most amazing crunchy texture, like something fried, but it's not fried, that you could eat. That is completely amazing. And I'm so glad that they not only freeze dried their local mangoes that they grow here on the farm, but also other foods they source locally and then will sell them to you here at the farm stand, but also ship them to you online so that you could taste some of the amazing Florida grown produce. So they got the freeze dried tropical fruit medley. So this is a lot of different locally grown fruits that are sourced from small farms here in Florida that they will freeze dry. They also have the freeze-dried mango and pineapple mix. They also have the freeze-dried mango pieces. That's what their mainstay here. They also have their freeze-dried mango lemon ginger. So this is basically their smoothie packs that they make. Add some lemon and ginger, freeze-dry it. They're really nice and fluffy. They also have, of course, the freeze-dried blueberries. If you want an antioxidant powerhouse, these are them. Freeze-dried locally grown strawberries. I had strawberries literally grown in Plant City, which is famous for its strawberries, just yesterday. Locally grown strawberries. They got the freeze-dried pineapple. Of course, the freeze-dried bananas. And then, of course, my favorite is the freeze-dried jackfruit. And I just sampled some of this jackfruit, and maybe we'll try some for you guys on the camera here. Because this freeze-dried jackfruit is incredible. If you've never had jackfruit, which most Americans have not, and jackfruit is very difficult to find in your store. This is a basically freeze-dried jackfruit. When you eat a ripe freeze-dried jackfruit, right, which is hard to find because a lot of freeze-dried jackfruit you might find online at a big store, right? They're not gonna be picked ripe, and then they're not gonna have the flavor. So this is locally grown Florida freeze-dried jackfruit. It's nice and crunchy. Think of like the texture of a fortune cookie. It's sweet, and then you get like a bubble gum flavor. This stuff literally, guys, tastes like juicy fruit gum. That's the flavor of juicy fruit gum, the jackfruit. Perfectly freeze-dried, perfect consistency, tastes amazing. Now I could sit here all day and sample every one out for you, but I just want to sample the freeze-dried mango lemon ginger. Once again, that's their smoothie packs they make, and then they freeze-dry it, so it's really light and airy. So it's a combination. So they come in these little nice cubes here that are really easy and convenient to eat. They go through a lot of work to make these cubes, because normally if you freeze-dry things, you can't chop it because it just disintegrates, but they pre-chop these before putting them into the freeze dryer. This is amazing, guys. This is like, it's like a smoothie. You're getting like a blast of the ginger, the hint of the lemon, and the mango. It's really light and airy. If you got kids, guys, I guarantee if they're eating candy, they're gonna love this even more, and it's 100% basically fruits and vegetables. Next up, we're gonna try the freeze-dried mango, so let's go ahead and open up this bag. The most important thing, guys, if you guys get freeze-dried food, make sure you always seal it back after we're done eating, otherwise moisture can get in there and then these guys can get soft. So literally they just take the mangoes out, which is a lot of work to take out and process the mangoes into pieces and then freeze dry them. This is what it looks like in pieces. Nice and crunchy, crunchier than the cubes there, but the flavor is completely amazing. Like, these are the best freeze-dried mangoes that I've had because they actually make them right here. I could pick out all day on these mangoes, guys. So if you guys want to try out any of these freeze-dried products, all locally grown, the mangoes grown here on the farm, check them out at gatheringsgrove.com. You can also learn more about the Mango Festival in June 21st at Gatherings Grove, as well as their free pizza nights they have every Sunday. The last part of this episode, I want to go ahead and interview John, the farmer here at Gatherings Grove, so that you guys can learn more about this amazing community and farm. All right, guys, so now I have the pleasure of interviewing John, one of the farmers and the farm manager here at Gatherings Grove, that is basically in this same spot we're at, gonna provide you guys a free mango festival to come to June 21st, 2026.
That's right.
So mark your calendars. I'm marking my calendar, and I hope I could get here because I went to the mango festival the other side of the state and I wasn't super impressed. And this one sounds like it's gonna be better because literally it is in a mango orchard with like 1,000 trees. So let's learn more about this amazing farm and community here on Pine Island. So John, why are you guys growing mangoes here in the middle of Pine Island?
Well, Pine Island is suited to be like, it's an amazing place, and the environment to grow them is just well suited for mangoes. We didn't actually intend to grow mangoes or start out being mangoes. We're actually living in Fort Myers, and we always wanted to be on a farm. We're a network of communities that live worldwide, but we were in Fort Myers and we decided we wanted to live on a farm, and we found this farm, and that's how we got into mango growing in other farming, of course. And we're raising animals. We have sheep, we have goats, dairy goats, and we have a really, really nice vegetable garden. And by the way, we're in the process of getting certified organically very, very soon here. So we're looking forward to that new addition.
Awesome, John. So, I mean, one of the things that strikes me is that, most farms start their farm for profit, to make money as their primary directive. Like, most people don't get into farming and, there's no other reasons people would normally get into farming unless they're passionate and they're maybe rich, and then they lose money farming, which I've actually visited other farms in Florida that are actually losing money, but the guy's so passionate about farming, he's doing it at a loss. Right. But, that's not even the goal here. So what is your goal here at Gatherings Grove?
Well, our goal here is to provide an environment for people to live together in an environment of love and kindness and gentleness. And really, we live as a community. We live together. And I'm not talking about the broader community, like the neighborhood or the town or the village. I'm literally talking about a spiritual community of people that experience forgiveness and just a whole different view of life in general. And we actually live for the purpose of bringing our Savior, Yahshua, back to this earth. And so it causes us to actually love one another to the point where we care for one another. So, for example, in the wintertime, many of our older people come down from the colder weather, and they live in communities up north, and they come down here and they have this marvelous place, marvelous environment to get out and walk and not slip and fall on ice or snow and deal with the cold. And so that's one of the reasons why we're here, and probably the main reason is just to create this amazing life, and where we can raise our children and be just like teach them at home and teach them gardening and teach them how to live and be around animals and just have this amazing life together.
Wow, that sounds like an idyllic life. I mean, that's the life that I want to have for my family one day, living literally on the farm. So I'm glad that you can make this available for other people to, literally join your community if they're interested. But I want to talk more about it does take money to run this place. So let's talk about how you do create some income from the amazing resource of all the mango trees that we're sitting literally in the middle of the orchard pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the mango farming is, as you were saying, John, it's very difficult to make a living by farming unless you're doing a lot large production farming. And so, but for us, we grow what we grow, and we sell what we can, and we process what we can, and do whatever we can to get a better return on our investment. But by and large, it does help us. But we all work together, and that's huge. As far as cutting costs and making a living, and just making it work.
Wonderful. So let's talk about some of the products you offer. So how do you sell the mangoes aside from being at your fruit stand?
Okay, so we actually ship. In the summertime when we're actually picking and harvesting mangoes, we'll ship those to customers all over the country, except California.
And then how would somebody order your mangoes?
So they can go to our website, gatheringsgrove.com, GATHERINGS, grove.com. And we have a store there, a shop, and you can buy our fresh mangoes, you can buy our freeze-dried products, you can buy other things that we sell there.
Wonderful. And then when you ship the mangoes, do you ship all certain variety, or is it a mixed box, and do you label the mangoes so that people know what they're getting, or how does that work?
We typically ship what's in season, but then there are times when one of our customers will ask, do you have this variety specifically? And if it's in season, we'll honor that request and we'll ship it to them. Yeah.
And then what's the price for the mangoes when you ship the mangoes?
I have to check and see basically, but I think last year we were charging $85 for a medium box, and we're charging $100 for a large box of mangoes.
And then what was the weight on those boxes?
The medium box is around 10 to 11 pounds, and large box is about 14, 15 pounds.
And is that including shipping or plus
It does.
shipping?
It
oh,
is
wow, that's a good
including
price.
shipping. Yeah.
That's a good price.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. And then, of course, the freeze-dried product could be shipped all year that I sampled, which was completely amazing. And I saw their facility, which is totally clean. They make it here. What's your best-selling freeze-dried fruit varieties, John?
Well, I think right now the mango is, but it's getting out. People love all of them. You know, they're just like they're great. The mango lemon ginger is a hit. The flavor is incredible, and but the mango is really, really popular. Yeah.
So tell us more about your growing practices. You know, it's uncommon that I actually go to a mango farm that's actually growing organically, because a lot of them just spray things that are not organic because they don't really care about organic, because they say it's too hard to grow mangoes organic in Florida because we got too many bugs and all these things. How do you guys do it?
Well, we just manage it. You know, we keep the grass short. We do all by mowing and weed whacking. We don't use any Roundup or anything like that. That's going to hurt the environment. Like I said, we've applied for our organic certification. We're waiting for our farm inspection. We've been transitioning to organic ever since we've owned the farm. So, but anyway, we do things. We watch for, you know, we know when the disease pressures are going to increase, and we watch for those things. If they do need an application of something, we're going to always use organic products. And then for fertilizers or soil amendments and things of that nature, we'll go to fertilizer that we actually make. We produce. We go up to Alaska every year in the summertime, and we harvest wild Alaskan salmon, which is another one of our businesses on the West Coast. And we process that, and we make fish emulsion. And we use that, and we put it through we inject it into our irrigation system on the grove and in the grove, and it's just marvelous what the results of that. And we'll use organic chicken manure as well. You know, so
wonderful.
Pretty like rigid as far as what we actually put on our properties. You know.
And then what are your favorite varieties of mangoes you love to eat the most?
Oh, yeah. So, you know, wise farmer once said, it's the one in my hand, you know. So, but yeah, I like them all. I mean, I love Glens. You know, somebody say, well, Glen, but we've got some really nice Southeast Asian varieties like Tongdam and Keo Savoy and the green eating mangoes, Bromkaimia, Munkansi. Those are really tasty mangoes. We're learning how to use those and adapt and acquire a taste for it. Yeah, there's just we have so many varieties, and they're so delicious. You know, they're all good. You know,
Cool.
We have some newer varieties that we just planted. Also, we just added 120 trees to the grove in the last month or so. So we have Sunrise and you know, just a bunch of new varieties as well.
Wonderful. So let's talk about your vegetable garden. So you make locally grown organic vegetables available to the local community. So, and how do you guys do that? As well as, of course, they're for your personal consumption, but of course your gardens are so bountiful, you have extra that you love to get out to the community.
So the winter is important for us. You know, it's Southwest Florida, and South Florida, you know, your growing season is winter. So for us, but you know, up north we have farms as well, and winter is their downtime. So many of our organic farmers will come down and help us from other locations, and you know, even do their vegetable starts up there on their organic farms and bring down. One of our farmers, his name is Lemuel. He's a wonderful man. And every year he comes down and gives us a hand, but he starts the vegetable starts up in New England, in southern Vermont, at the Basin Farm. It's an organic farm, and he'll come down with like 14 or 20 trays of veggies ready to put into the beds that we have. We have our raised beds, and which makes it easier for our older people to actually work, you know, because they're higher up and not working right on the ground. And it's marvelous, you know. I mean, 3 weeks or within a month of him arriving, we're eating out of the garden, you know.
Well, that's really nice. So, you know, I was able to come and visit you guys today and give you guys, you know, a tour on the video. But the other thing is that you guys offer tours just for people to call you up if they want to come tour your mango farm, get to know you guys as a community, check out your vegetable garden, like tell everybody more about how they could come and even volunteer and help out on the farm.
Yeah, so you can send us an email, go to our website, and you know, or call us. You can call us. You know, we can probably post the link to our phone number.
Yeah, I'll post a link down below to their website, so you can contact them.
Yeah, you can contact us, and we love visitors. We're always our arms are wide open to visitors, We really live to have visitors and, love our neighbors and care for people,
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, that to me was totally apparent when I came here, because I mean, why else would they give a free mango festival? I mean, other places charge like $30, $40, $50 to come to their mango festival. Yeah. You could come here for free, sample mangoes, buy mangoes at affordable prices. I mean, I'll stress that because I'm pretty frugal myself. They're not trying to charge you like a ton of money like some other mango festivals I've been to. They have honest pricing is what I would say. And besides just the honest pricing of their mango festival, if you want to buy the mangoes, right, you could come and tour. Right, no charge for that?
Yeah, there's no price for no charge for the tours. But the thing about, just a little blurb on the festival. Again, it's always in late June of every year. This will be our fourth festival this year. And the first one we started, we had probably 700 or 800 people. And then last year we had 2,500 people, and it was marvelous. We have 28 vendors, homemade ice cream, lots and lots of mango vendors, mango tasting,
mango
trees for sale, fruit trees for sale, tropical, just like plants and things of that nature, honeybee demonstrations and things of that nature. It's really, really nice. And then we have classes right in our pavilion here. We'll teach classes on grafting or pertinent agricultural topics, everything from soil health to just gardening, but mostly around tropical fruit, focused around tropical fruit and mangoes. It's a mango festival.
Wonderful. So besides just a mango festival that happens once a year, right, they have other events that happen weekly. So such as your free pizza night. Is that true? Yeah. You guys basically bake pizza for the local community for people to come out to get to know you guys?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, it's really nice because every Sunday night from 5 to 7 here on the farm, it's an on-farm event. We have this little farm stand, and it's really beautiful and made from wood that we gathered on the property. And we have a wood-fired brick oven, and we use our own organic spelt flour, which we grow up north in our northern communities and distribute it all over the country. But we use that to make the dough, the crust for the pizza, and it's absolutely delicious. It's really, really good. Really, really, really good. And so we give the pizza away for free. Unless you buy a whole pie, you want more, then we'll sell it to you at a reasonable cost. But we have mango smoothies, and we make a homemade tea, and it's just really, really, really nice. And then the people come, the neighbors come, and they just hang out with each other and talk and chit-chat and interact with each other. And some people they haven't seen all year because they were up north during the summer, and then they come and they kind of just reconnect, and it's a really, really nice time for the neighbors.
Wonderful. And that's also when your farm stand is open to sell your other products, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And is your farm stand open at other times too, and you want to share when your farm stand is open?
Absolutely. Well, we're over the winter, we're going to be opening more, like over, say, a couple hours or 2-3 hours a day. And we're always closed on Saturday, but we're open from Sunday through Friday.
But check their website for the latest updates, because it may change.
Exactly. And you can check in Google also. It'll come up there with the hours and stuff.
Yeah. But Sundays for sure. Every Sunday, 52 weeks a year, right? You're there for the free pizza night.
Yeah,
and get to know them. Check out the farm stand when it is open for sure.
Right.
Wonderful. All right, John, is there anything else you'd like my viewers today to know about your amazing farm here and your community?
Just you're always welcome. We love to have visitors, like I said a few minutes ago, but please don't hesitate to just get in contact with us and come and see what we're doing. And it's an amazing place. We love being here. We're very, very, I will also add that Pine Island in itself is an amazing environment, and our neighbors are really precious. And anytime we have any questions about growing or problems with growing mangoes or anything like that, our neighbors who are experienced are always free. They're so free to give information. There's just nothing in them that, just is reserved or anything.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is that I've loved my time here. It's actually probably one of my favorite visits that I've done this trip to Gathering Grove, hanging out with John for pretty much half the day. And just seeing what they're doing, I'm just fully in agreement and literally love what they're doing here, and encourage you guys to come out, especially the Mango Festival. I'm going to mark my calendar once again, June 21st. I'm going to do my best to be here because I want to eat more mangoes that they grew here, because I get to salivate at all the trees, and I did get to eat the freeze-dried mangoes, which tasted amazing. But I hope to get out here and hope to see you guys there. Mark your calendars too. come out for a free pizza night if you're here local. And of course, contact John or contact them on their website if you guys want to come for a tour. I'd recommend coming on a tour during mango season, be a little bit more exciting than when it's not mango season, right? So and mango season for you guys is what months?
It's end of May through late September.
End of May, late September. In the middle is better than the early or late, because middle or late,
June, July.
You don't know what's going to be, if anything's happening yet or it's already happened.
Right, that's right.
All right, cool, guys. If you guys enjoyed this episode here at Gatherings Grove today, want me to come back in the future, give this video a big thumbs up. Also, more importantly, share this with other people so they could learn about an organic mango grove here in Southwest Florida and the amazing work they are doing here at the community. Also, be sure to click on the subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new and upcoming episodes. I'll come out every 5 to 7 days. You don't know where I'll show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. And make sure you click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. Past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 1,700 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to you guys all about how to grow your own food at home. So with that, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time. Until then, remember, keep on growing.